I'm not going to talk to this vitamin E mechanism because there's a plus and minus research stories on the mechanism of vitamin E. What I'll do is I'm going to share a couple of little videos with you. And these videos, let me do this. I'm going to bring this up. Let's see here. Hold on one second, y'all. Bear with me. All right, let me share this little screen with you. This is a little video showing the mechanism of a heart attack. And I'm going to try to share this with you and do a little stop and start here. Okay, so let me go back to the beginning. In the beginning. Okay, here we have. Now, let me start this over. I'm going to try to. Now, here you have the opening of the artery, and you have this is a plaque right here. So you look at this is a wall, and it's supposed to come across here. It's supposed to go all the way across here, but this is a plaque. See how it bulges out? It looks a little bit different than this. These endothelial cells are nice and red. These are kind of a little bit of a grayish red. These are red blood cells. These are cells moving through. So you're going to see the red blood cells moving through this opening here. And so we're going to let that flow for a minute. So it's going through. Now, you see all of a sudden there's a rupture there. So before, I'm going to go back. I'll go back again. Now see right here, this pooches out here. This is about to rupture. So if I go here, that starts to rupture there. I go here, starting to rupture. See how that's opening up? So this is a rupture of this plaque. It's like a pimple bursting. And see, rupture, rupture, rupture even more. These cells are coming through. So now it's this little piece of, so this is tissue below this plaque is starting to come out. And what's not shown in the video, it can't be shown, these little biochemical reactions that starts off a cascade of events called inflammation or plaque formation or thrombus formation. But you see this subplaque tissue things come out. That could be cholesterol plaque with that has abrasive edges, but they start to come out and become exposed in the bloodstream due to the rupture of that plaque. But there's also a biochemical reaction that's leading to that. And I see the red cells are still coming out. And then the video is going to show you the other side of this vessel as you start to get blood clot formation. I'm going to go inch by inch. So we're getting farther away. You start to see debris, the subplaque debris that's coming out because you have a rupture right here. Blood streams are coming at us here. And so we see that. And this is the mechanism of either a heart attack or stroke, depending on where this blood vessel is going. It's going to the brain, it's a stroke. And you get a better idea of the lumen of this artery. It's coming here. You get a better idea of this plaque, and you're starting to get this encroachment of the wall here. And so you see that coming. Now we're looking at the other side. You're going here. You see, here's the thrombus right here, and the blood's moving that way. You're going to start to see a clot form as you get closer to this section here. Okay, you got the debris here. And now you're starting to see the clot formation. I'm going to inch you, see more, see they get more clot formation here. There's clot formation there. You get thrombin formation, and it's forming more and more of a clot. And these red blood cells are going to get more and more entangled in that clot. And there's more vascular debris. And see again, you see the clot formation. See this fibrin, these strands of blood clot that's forming there. And now it's showing you the outside of the heart. And I'm going to play this video live, but I'm inching you through it. Now the outside of the heart is showing you the end result. We were inside the artery. Now we move outside and see this dark area here is where heart muscle's starting to die, because you saw closing up of blood flow, clot formation, and that's a heart attack. This is a mechanism of a heart attack. I'm going to play this live. So you got dead tissue right here, and you got like an ischemic border. Now, if you have a cardiologist, they would go in with a wire, put it across there, and open that artery up and get some more blood flow here if we can do that fast enough. And that's the mechanism by which and I'm just going to show you this. The heart is beating. So why don't we just kind of finish that up? And then I'm going to show you the whole thing in one fell swoop. So here you go. You saw the plaque, you got the rupture there, got the subplaque debris that's floating downstream. And then you see from the other direction, you get the debris floating downstream, and you see clot formation. Then this vascular debris doesn't get through, so you have an occlusion of the artery. And then on the outside, you have the heart attack formation right there. Now, the heart is still beating, so that means you're not in cardiac arrest, but you can form arrhythmia in that setting. So that's that little bit there. Now, there's another one that shows a little bit more blood clots. So let me share that with you. So I'm going to go and share my screen here. Give me a minute. Actually, this is showing the same one. We've seen this one before. Let me see if I have the other one. Okay, this is the other one. And this is showing a different mechanism here. Let me pause this. We'll go back. And I'm going to play this one in full, let you see this. You see the blood flowing through the vessel. And this is a nice flow of blood going through the vessel. And as it comes down, you can see a rupture right there. That's the endothelial cells, rupture right there. See that? It's peeling away, rupture. So you can see the tissue below there, and blood cells start to get entrapped. You have inflammatory molecules, cytokines being signaled. But this is rupture. Now, notice there wasn't any involved, and these are cholesterol molecules, these inflammatory cells, and they're releasing chemicals, structures are causing more inflammation, because here you have an alarm system that's gone out. More inflammatory cells are being called. The macrophage going there is going inside the system there. And you have more plaque formation and inflammation. And so you get a plaque formation there. And this is an atherosclerotic process that can develop over time, where you get more plaque formation, more unstable plaque formation, and then you get clot formation, heart attack, stroke, sudden death. And this mechanism happens without any symptoms. So that's where we stand. So the point, the take-home messages are, as I said, I was going to come on and kind of give a quick topic today. And before I summarize here, I just want to remind all of you, hit the thumbs up button, take the time, go thumbs up, hit the like button with the thumbs up, and also subscribe and share this with as many people as you can, because I think it's an important topic. We think about cholesterol molecules, but I want you to get your arms around the underlying mechanism. So what are the things we need to take home from this? Number one, cholesterol is a molecule that serves a purpose, whether it's LDL, VLDL, chylomicrons. As I showed, it serves a purpose. We consume fats that can be healthy fats that are taken up by these chylomicron molecules, which are important. They deliver free fatty acids to muscle tissue and cells, and fats have an important role. As we talked about, cholesterol, like fats, have an important role in nervous tissue. They have an important role in adrenal gland function and other organs. And so Cholesterol has an important role in vitamin D production in the skin. So there are important roles that LDL molecules have and cholesterol has. So we shouldn't just think of these molecules as being bad. Now, these molecules can be made bad. So why is LDL cholesterol bad? It's bad when you make it bad, okay? When you make it bad, when you consume bad foods, when you consume processed carbohydrates, when you consume dead animal flesh, you consume trans fats, oils, you then bring in free radicals or oxidative molecules, and then it oxidizes LDL molecules. When LDL molecules become oxidized, then they become bad. So LDL molecules are not inherently bad. They're made bad by what we do to them. Lack of exercise, lack of sleep, excess stress, but we put bad stuff in our system 24/7. And we think little of it. And we say, okay, I'll take a pill and get the LDL down. Well, you can get the LDL down, but if you still have oxidized LDL, it's still going to form a plaque. So, bad is sort of like saying, okay, I got 10 thieves in my bank. I'm just going to decrease the number of thieves. I go from 10 thieves to 5 thieves. Well, it's just going to be 5 thieves stealing from your drawers. It's going to be, they're going to have a bigger split between 5 than 10. So it's not a matter of, the number of thieves you have. You got to get rid of all the thieves and make them good bankers or honorable bankers. So you want to have not just get rid of the LDL, you want to make it healthy LDL. Because you reduce the LDL and continue to bring in toxic foods, even though you're taking your statin drug, whatever other drug you're taking to lower LDL, you're still making the LDL there is made toxic by being oxidized LDL. So you got to get rid of the oxidizing molecules. That's the thing. That's the key. When you get rid of the oxidizing molecules, as we did in a nutritional study we showed, then you reduce oxidation LDL, so the bad LDL goes away and the total amount of LDL goes down. So you really achieve what you're trying to achieve with the medication. So these molecules are helpful and beneficial. The other thing too, if you give excessive amounts reduce LDL to excessive low levels, there can be adverse effects, because if you have too little LDL or too little cholesterol in general, less vitamin D formation, less nervous tissue protection. So hence adverse brain function, hence adrenal function could be impaired. So, you can have an adverse effect of lowering LDL too much. And you have very low LDL where most of it's oxidized, you can have kind of a double-edged sword. Lipoprotein little a we talked about is the simple thing about lipoprotein A. So what is lipoprotein little a? It's a molecule that looks like LDL, plus it blocks plasminogen or potentiates clots. So it's like an LDL molecule that helps potentiate clotting. So you want to get lipoprotein little a down. There are not a lot of drugs that do that very well. A defined plant-based diet does it extremely well, which is not only reduces LDL, reduces inflammation, and reduces LP little a. So, these are some important things that you can really find out and that you can take home. So next time you get your cholesterol measured, your doctor says, well, my cholesterol is high. Ask them, do I have, a lot of small particles, small LDL particles? Do I have oxidized LDL? Then ask about other things, the triglyceride. You have high triglyceride levels. You want to get your triglycerides down. The LP little a, ask about that. These are important things to hold on to. These are the things that you're going to really want to know in terms of your lipid protocol. So not just total cholesterol, LDL, HDL, but the particle sizes, small particles you need to reduce small particles, reduce oxidative LDL, cholesterol molecules, and the like. So I hope this has been helpful. Hello to everybody. I see JW, Catherine Welch, Angela Fassetti, Danielle Harding, all the team members. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for your comment. Let's see here. Comment. People's Pharmacy published several articles pushing about doctors to test more than LP(a) along with calcium score rather than a normal blood test of HDL, LDL. That's right. My thoughts are that we should look at these molecules and follow all of these molecules. We look at particle sizes. We look at LP(a) on a regular basis. And we look at all these things. And we look at inflammatory markers, C-reactive protein and peroxidase. So you want to look at inflammation as well, because you get some insight there also. Let's see, Charlie. Not sure if I miss you saying this, but does it make sense to conclude that a raw plant-based diet not only helps clear arteries, but also dissolves blood clots? Yeah, so I didn't really say that exactly, but a plant-based diet in general, it's been shown that it decreases blood rheology, so it makes blood less thick. So if you think of water being poured versus molasses in the wintertime, molasses is more thick, water is less thick. You want your blood to be closer to water than molasses. The thicker and more sludgy the blood, the more predisposition to clot. So from just a simple physiological process, we know that blood rheology is reduced on a plant-based diet. And then we can look at these mechanisms here where you say, okay, you reduce inflammation, which reduces potentiation for clot formation. That's another mechanism as well. Let's see. So juices, smoothies, part of the process. You can have healthy cold pressed juices. The problem I have with cold pressed juices, some of the ones I buy in the stores, they are processed in a way that they're cold pressed, but then sometimes they add water to them. Sometimes they may heat them, flash pasteurize them. Oftentimes they don't use the best produce. They may be pressurized sometimes, which may not be the worst, but although it increases shelf life, there's a certain level of processing of it. If you're cold pressing the juice yourself, I think you do okay with that. But yes, we've had lots of people do juice feasting, and they actually do very well. But they're juicing, natural foods. They're consuming the juice pretty quickly, so it's not oxidized. But the store-bought cold pressed juices sometimes are processed in ways that we're not sure of, and I think it can be problematic in terms of leading to other problems. My doctor took me off Lipitor based on a panel that he learned about from you. Okay, he said that Lipitor was not tested in Black women. Okay, yeah, there are a lot of drugs that are not tested across the board, and we tend to, unfortunately, we'll do a test on certain population. Historically, it's been mostly white men, and then we'll extrapolate to the whole population of human beings. And that's problematic. Number two, we may test patients in certain clinical scenario, and then we'll extrapolate to people outside that clinical profile. And that could be problematic. And three, I think is most problematic, is that we don't test in the context of optimal lifestyle. We know that lifestyle has an impact, but let me give you an example. So let me say I have this hypothetical drug that decreases the prevalence of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease in people who smoke. So then I'll take a lot of people who smoke, and I have group A, group B, and group A, I give my drug to. I give my anti-COPD drug to group A smokers. And then group B smokers, I give them placebo. And I follow group A smokers and group B smokers along, and I see that my drug works. So there are fewer cases of COPD in group A than group B. I say, great. So everybody needs to take my drug. Okay. Now, what if I get another group of people who don't smoke at all? Well, no, they need to take the drug too because it decreases COPD among smokers. And yeah, we didn't test non-smokers, but the data says this is indicated for the reduction of COPD. The problem with that study is that it's not looking at a group of non-smokers. So if I tested a group of smokers plus non-smokers, so you had three groups. Let's say I had the drug on smokers, placebo on smokers, then placebo with non-smokers. Follow those three groups, you may find that the non-smokers have less COPD than the smokers on the drug. So in which case, what would your recommendation be? Well, not take the drug, but just stop smoking. And so that's the case we have with, lifestyle. We have drugs, a Lipitor or other statins, say, well, if your cholesterol is high, we can get it down with the drug. And we did the study, one group with the drug, one group placebo, but they're all eating the standard American diet. But if they eat a natural, healthy, plant-based diet, that may get the cholesterol down so that the drug's not needed. And so they don't do those kind of studies because they probably know that the drug won't be needed. And so that's really the critical factor that I think And so that's what we have tonight. So I hope you enjoyed this. Again, hit the like button, get that YouTube algorithm working in our favor. Please subscribe if you haven't had a chance to, and share this information with loved ones. I think this information will be very beneficial to loved ones and anybody that you think that you know has high cholesterol who may be taking a statin drug. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Until next time, keep it fresh, natural, and live.